Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Aisha Evergreen. It has been a while. It is about that time for me to go ahead and give you guys a June garden tour. So much stuff has bloomed. I was actually out of the state and visiting family in Louisiana for a couple of days, and to my surprise, when I returned, so many things had bloomed, and I'm just so excited with the growth that my garden has come upon. So anywho, let's go ahead and get into this tour. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start here. As you can see, these plants here look pretty dead. These are my red Norland tomatoes. Not tomatoes, sorry, potatoes. I don't know why I always do that, but anywho, my boys are on their way home and they're gonna help me harvest these. As you can see, we got one kind of poking out right over there, so I'm really excited to go ahead and harvest those today. This is my sweet potato patch, and I popped in some zinnias as well as an amaranth, and hopefully I could do a quick little reference so you can see how tall this amaranth is, because it is huge, and I am not very tall, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around so you can kind of get a visual of how tall this thing is, as well as this borage here. So hold on. So yes, this Amaranth is humongous. I actually wasn't too sure if it was going to germinate or not, because I just kind of scattered the seeds in a random pot that I had, and I guess as the temperatures warmed up, I started too early. I guess it was too cold, but as the temps began to warm up, here you go. I actually have several of these. This is my one of my largest. I'll show you the other in just a moment. I have some beautiful zinnias here. Look at that, so gorgeous. It's like a flower in many flowers. So I love these, and this is actually the cut and come again variety. This one's actually good. They say, like, if the bloom is pretty sturdy, I guess, then it's good to cut. I won't be clipping them just yet because I am expecting some guests, and I'm gonna allow them to have their way with these beautiful flowers. Here I'm probably gonna harvest as a talk, but I have some beans here, and I pop these into the another sweet potato bed here. So I have this one as well as that one, and I have a few vines in this bed. This is my wonderful borage. It is massive. I did not think it would grow to be this tall. They said that they could grow up to 3 feet, but I'm thinking this is beyond that. Again, it is matching up with my beautiful amaranth there. I'm just so excited, and as you can see, we have a wonderful bee just enjoying that. That's I try to come in and remove some of the blooms and leave a few, but every single day this thing is just, as you can see, it's covered in heads there, so they're ready to bloom. But yeah, every day I try to go ahead and take a few of them, and I allow them to dry so that we can eventually use them for tea. But I was also I read that you could use the leaves. The borage is in the comfrey family, and a lot of people like to use comfrey to fertilize their plants. And they said that you could do the same thing with borage. I do not have comfrey, but I have borage, so at some point we'll see. But for right now, I'm just enjoying it in all of its glory. Then here we have a marigold, which is also huge. It's the African marigold. I had to move a couple of those around in my garden beds because they are massive. And I'm just gonna creep under here. Hopefully the bee doesn't get angry with me. But we have an eggplant right here. And then we also have another eggplant here with several blooms. So hopefully we can get more very soon. These were struggling a bit at first because of the army worm that was attacking it, but it seems to be doing just fine now. And then now we'll go ahead and address the trellis. It is looking a little wild. I did come in and prune it, but it's about time to go ahead and prune her again. We're gonna go ahead and start on this side because I just enjoy doing that. But here we have our super sweet 100s. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this super sweet 100 there, and on this side of the trellis, and then on this side we have our yellow pear, and look at that one right here. These things are so good. They're surprisingly delicious. I Did not know that they were not as juicy as your typical tomato, but they are so good. And to me, call me crazy, but it actually tastes like a pear. I don't know. On this side of the bed, we have a glad. It did bloom, but it's been hot out here, so I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just not looking its healthiest there. And then we have, oh my god, look at these beautiful zinnias. Like, let's get into how beautiful they are. They are making such a statement in these beds. And again, the bees are enjoying because they are huge and they are everywhere. I need to stop being scared. If I'm gonna garden, I need to toughen up. Over here we have more glads. We have dill here, which is doing good, but I need to come in and harvest it. And then down here we actually have what is that? Not chamomile. Oh my gosh, it's at the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me. But we have that there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and try and harvest a couple of these tomatoes while I'm at it. Wonderful. Okay, now let's go through the trellis and see what we have. These pots are, well, this big pot is new, and I put some of my perennial things in here, but also I threw a marigold because I said I had to move a lot of these things around, and that's because they are massive and they were shading out a lot of stuff in this bean bed. So I just went ahead and put them in here. We have a salvia here. This is salvia, and actually it broke when I was transplanting it, and it's growing already, so I'm excited about that. This is a random pepper, random peas or beans, celosia. These are the chives, and a random okra plant. We have our pink roses. The blooms are actually faded. They come out this really deep beautiful pink, and then it just kind of transitions to this shade and then white, and it's because of the sun. But when I looked it up, it said that they prefer full sun, but I don't know. I may have to move them so that I can enjoy the color a little bit longer. Here's just also another random pot. It has beans in it, chives, as well as garlic chives, and then some more of those cut and come again zinnias. All right, so now we have my main bed here. So within it, we have our, from seed, we have tomato plant, and this is a pink flesh beefsteak, and I have my first tomato on this. And actually, I will say, note to self, that this is actually my last producing tomato. Like everything else has produced rather quickly. I didn't know if it was because these were over here were grape tomatoes or not, but I just found it quite odd that that one of all is producing rather slowly, but we'll see what the yield is. Then we have our shishito peppers here, and I'm going to go ahead and remove these so it can encourage more growth. More celosia peppers here. This zucchini did nothing. Like, it produced so many male flowers. Like, I'm gonna pull it up probably by the end of this video and just get rid of it. Like, I've tried to give it chance after chance after chance to produce some female flowers, but still nothing. Go ahead and get these. These are actually, what kind of beans are these? These are your I had the red beans. I know they're usually produced from New Orleans, and people make red beans and rice with them. So I wanted to hit and saw, like, I wanted to see if I could plant a dry bean and what I get, and it actually did just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get both of these out of here. There we go. All right, this is, oh, look at that huge bee. Oh my gosh, look at that. I was about to grab this zinnia over here and show you how beautiful it was, but I think the bee thought the same thing. So we're just gonna allow it to do its thing, and we're just gonna keep walking. Oh, there's another one right there. Oh my gosh. I think this is probably not the best time to be out because they are enjoying my space, our space, I guess. But we're just gonna continue on. So we have plenty of basil here that I will need to eventually harvest. This zinnia has bloomed several weeks ago, and I'm surprised it's still hanging on, and it's still quite pretty to me. More zinnias here. We have peas trellised along this side of this cage, actually along each cage there. More basil. Let me tell you about these. So these tomatoes are, when I told you that I went ahead and I started pruning my super sweet 100s, well, these, oh my gosh, these here were suckers that were overgrown, so I allowed them to root in water and I just replanted them. All right, so this is my Purple Prince tomato plant right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of harvest these beauties and just allow them to finish ripening in the house. There we go. How big is this? Okay. We have more coming along, so I'm really excited. Oh yeah, but I also wanted to show you that this sucker is producing fruit on this one as well. So I'm really excited. We're gonna have super sweet 100s everywhere. Oh yeah, in here we have zucchini. I don't know if you saw my short, but I did get to self-pollinate, hand-pollinate some of these guys, and this one's not quite ready yet, but probably in like the next day or so it will be. And then I have some more that are should be opening up to be pollinated by all of the wonderful pollinators that I have in my yard, probably tomorrow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you guys, so you remember my little pollination stations? They're doing pretty good. Let me show you. I have one over here as well. Aren't they gorgeous? They're working out just fine. So yeah. And then this is one of the other buckets that I will planters that I purchased. This is a sunflower and it'll be growing in here. It was over there, but I decided to just go ahead and relocate it to this one because I had nothing else to put in the pot. So yeah, we have that. And then my idea is that we'll have a big sunflower, not sure how tall, but then I have a teddy bear sunflower here, and then I also added in several different beans and zinnias, and I like for it to just kind of fill in the space so it can be sort of like a living mulch type of situation. In here we have more zinnias right there, and then we have our corn back there, and it's definitely in need of some form of TLC. It needs to be fed some kind of nutrients because it isn't very green right now. And then we have eggplant in there. Let's see, I have a random okra plant right here. I actually have okra all over my garden because I'm experimenting with the areas in which it'll do best. We also have our fairy tale okra, not okra, eggplant plants back there as well. And you would think this was an entire tomato plant, but it isn't. Like, this is what I mean by saying that these marigolds are massive. So I have 1, 2, 3 of them in there, so I'm gonna have to come in and get rid of those. And then back there I have my sun-gold tomatoes. So that hasn't produced any flowers yet. I did start those seeds a lot later than all the rest, so we'll see what happens there. All right, so to my twin 4x4s, they are pretty much matching. So in each bed we have cucumbers as well as flowers, peppers, and chamomile. Let me go ahead and get this chamomile while we're at it so it can keep producing. All right, so we can just kind of look through a couple of these guys to see if we have any cucumbers ready to be harvested. And actually we do, but hopefully nothing jumps out at me because your girl is scared. Okay, now all these bees were out here having a good old time, and it's me that want to come out here and harvest right now. So yeah, I harvest in the mornings as well. Well, my son and I would usually harvest in the mornings. So this is what we got. Go ahead and put that there. All right, so we're gonna look in this one as well because I thought I saw one this morning, and I said I would tell myself I'll get it this afternoon, and we do. So cucumbers are so prickly. I left my gloves in the house, So each little prick, I'm like, ouch, silently dying, okay? Dying silently. All right, here we go. All right, so we have an okra plant here. As you can see, it's pretty big, and this is my second biggest amaranth. I have one here as well. Obviously, it is nowhere near the size of this one or the first one, but it's due to the sunlight, so I'll probably end up moving that one as well. Let's see, let me just make sure I don't need any more. Harvest any more cukes. Okay, I guess not. Got some farming though. All right, now this wonderful thing here is my, look how huge this thing is. Let's see, travel it. Oh, let's follow it all the way down there. All right, so this is my acorn squash. Look at that. Oh, this is a tragedy. Maybe it didn't get pollinated. I'm not sure. I'm gonna throw it across the gate. But I have one down there, and then I have this one. So we'll see what happens. We have a random squash plant in here with the watermelon. These are your sugar baby watermelon here and here. And I saw one on here, but it didn't get pollinated. And out of all these pollinators that I have around here, you would think some will get pollinated. All right, so we have ginger. I started some pumpkin seeds from my boys. More chamomile. Snapdragon started from seed. Didn't think they were going to do anything. It's still getting quite hot, so they may not do anything. Blueberries, that I bought those bare roots, so that's what we have. May not produce much this year. Look at these guys. I have successfully grown sunflowers. Oh my gosh. Well, I have my teddy bear sunflowers, but these, well, I thought were mammoth. They're not that big, but I'm gonna still give them time to grow some more. I'm just so excited. Like, what? I did that. Anywho, we have a marigold here, several cosmos. Oh my god, this one is opening up. Look how pretty. Okay, why am I whispering? But anyway, we have several cosmos thrown in here. I don't know if you watched my last video, but I did tell you guys that I just kind of, I don't know what I was thinking. I dug like a trench, like all the way around, and then I just scattered the seeds all throughout, filled it in with a little bit of dirt, and watered it every single day. And this is what we have so far. So we're gonna see what these flowers, if they are definitely mixed in with weeds, and I wanted more of just like a wildflower patch kind of deal. So we're just gonna allow that to do its thing. I did tell you guys that I had dahlia right there. It's gone. It was not a squirrel. I blame the squirrels for digging that up. It is not a squirrel. It was definitely a chipmunk, and it was just in my garden like 10 minutes ago. And yeah, I've been seeing them out here like every day. I was told that they don't cause much damage to your garden or whatever, but you could maybe deter them with some coffee grounds. So that's what I'll probably try to do. Also, I planted in some, this is a dahlia here. It's growing well. There's one back there, right there as well, and it's growing. And then I also have another dahlia, which is leaning right there, so I'm going to need to support that one soon. But I decided that I'll go ahead and see how my pepper plants would do if I were to plant them in the ground with doing nothing, like just digging a hole, putting a plant in the ground. And that's what I did. So we have one here. This is one of the smaller ones, right? And this is a small one as well. This one's super tiny, but look at this one. OMG. These are the biggest pepper plants I've ever had, ever. And here's another one that's growing right back there with the sunflowers, like huge. It even has a pepper on it. Can you see that? Amazing. This one does as well, but it's a lot smaller. So for now on, I'm probably gonna be growing my sunflowers in the freaking ground. I don't know, like compared to this one, which has, like, look at this, like it's nowhere near the size of these things. Like, they're huge. They're almost to my waist, and again, I'm not very tall, but still, you know, that's still pretty big. These are my sunflowers. All right, and finally we have my little watermelon patch. another one of my wonderful pollination stations. Like, look at this. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Oh gosh. And I have some teddy bear sunflowers here, some rosemary back there, random onions or shallots back there. So yeah guys, that is my garden. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick little walkthrough. I am so pleased with everything, like so pleased, and we're just getting started. All right, so this is our, oh nice job Champ. How does it taste? Good. Okay, so this is our basket here of what we've harvested while we're giving our tour. We have 2 cucumbers, we have tomato here, this is our purple Prince tomato, then we have our I'm so sorry, our super sweet 100s tomatoes. My son will just eat them just like this. It doesn't even have to be ripe, he's gonna eat it. And then these are my favorite here, the yellow pear. We have 2 shishito peppers and some beans.